Silver Needle and Thread is a custom sewing design company focusing on organic and natural fabrics and fibers. The reason we focus on organics and natural fibers is I believe that what we do is very important to our society at this point in time in protecting women's health and the health of their families. I am a farm girl, so I came from the land. I came from a little town outside of Oxford, Mississippi called Abbeville, Mississippi. My father was a farmer, so I know what it's like to actually pick cotton. Is what I came from. Nowadays, the word organic is just a fancy word that they're putting on what's actually real. It was important for me to stay close to my roots, to produce products and fashion that was really real and healthy for you. I started Silver Needle and Thread because I felt there was a need for women to be able to control their fashion choices. And when you speak of mass-produced clothing, there is no room for personality to be implemented into the fashion. There is no room for individuality. And Silver Needle and Thread was born from that, being in the fashion industry for many years myself, and understanding that there are so many different sizes, there are so many different personalities, so many different types of women. And one of the major ways we express ourselves is through fashion.
As far as looking good and the women's looking beautiful, they should feel beautiful and look great as far as what they wear. So what they put on their body, it should be more of a, feel just like a part of them. A part of them, their whole body, what you put on. It feels so great, it's unreal.
Organic is simply what is real, what is natural to begin with. It's the notion of not being tampered with, so to speak. When you talk about colors in fibers or in fabric, the colors are of the earth. Organic means from the earth and what Mother Nature gave us.
A lot of people look at organic, they think about foods. First of all, they don't think about the clothing as far as what they're wearing and all the garments. So I look at it as a point of people need to be aware as far as the things that you eat that are not healthy for you. The same goes for the clothes that you wear.
I actually do a lot of public speaking. And when I ask my audience one question, I simply change one word in the question. I will ask my audience, when is the last time you purchased a dress that made you look pretty? And lots of hands go up all over the audience. And I'll say, okay, that's really great. And I'll change the question and say, when was the last time you purchased a dress that made you feel pretty? If you've not ever experienced a natural fiber against your skin, it's really hard to interpret the difference between I look pretty and, oh my God, I feel pretty. Our experience at the Veg Fest was phenomenal. We were very excited about the response to our booth, first of all. It was a non-stop going day to where people just simply wanted to know what we did. They were very amazed at the products and services that we had to offer. They were able to see some of our work up close and personal with some of the displays that we had. And they also understood it's not just about the fashion. It's about everything that makes a woman fabulous.
I was surprised that, and I was happy, but I seen a lot of men come up to our booth and they was really into organic. And reason why I say that because I know a lot of women are into improving their health. But it amazed me that I found that a lot of men was into that also.
The one thing that I would like for everyone to understand about organic fibers and fabric, it goes deeper than fashion. because when you speak about why organic, we're talking about sustainability. It is a choice to basically protect our earth. 11.1 million tons of clothing is discarded per year in the United States. When you take that statistic and you look at it just a little bit closer, this is a country where we've become more recyclable. We pass along our clothes and we use them over and over again. But still, because of that, 11.1 million tons of clothes are discarded into our landfills per year. And of those clothes, synthetic fibers never go away. I love custom sewing and designing beautiful clothes. I feel like in today's society, it's a dying art. I believe that what I do is very important to holding on to a tradition. It's an artistry. Luxury is not an illusion. Elegance is not imagination. I'm convinced that both require patience, passion, commitment, and skill. And every single time I sew for a client, those elements are going into that garment. And that's what makes it special. That's what makes it a one of a kind. And that's important.